If you try to keep your professional and personal lives in perfect equilibrium, you've likely noticed the scale never stays level. Attempting to force a rigid wall between these two worlds often results in three things: a state of constant tension, a deep sense of guilt, and eventual complete burnout. Real productivity requires a different approach called work-life integration. This isn't about separation. It's about blending your roles so that your personal energy fuels your professional success. To make this transition, we are going to build a specific tactical schedule for your day tomorrow, a massive action plan. Before we start, you will need your digital calendar and a notepad. By moving from the abstract goal of balance to a systematic plan for integration, you can ensure your career priorities and your personal well-being no longer have to compete for the same hour. First, use your notepad to identify exactly 3 non-negotiables for tomorrow. These must be specific: 1 high-impact work outcome, 1 personal connection to nurture, and 1 self-care practice that replenishes your energy. Now, open your calendar. We are going to turn those written priorities into concrete scheduled events. Start by locking in a block for your highest priority work project. Assign it a distinct color, like blue, so it stands out. Next, add a dedicated block for personal connection. Slot this into your afternoon or evening and label it orange. Finally, add your self-care or movement block, marked in green, at a time when you typically feel your energy begin to dip. A common mistake is leaving these personal blocks set to free. This signals to colleagues that your time is available for meetings or requests. Go into your settings and manually change the status of your personal blocks to busy. By claiming this space visually on your calendar, you transition these priorities from ideas into commitments that are much harder for others to interrupt. To make this system work, you need a boundary that prevents your professional tasks from bleeding into your personal time. Pick a definitive cutoff time, for example, 7 p.m., and create a recurring calendar event titled Hard Stop. This acts as your daily finish line. Back-to-back scheduling is often a recipe for fatigue because it doesn't account for the mental shift required to change roles. Shrink your standard 60-minute blocks down to 45 minutes. These 15-minute white space gaps provide the necessary buffer to reset your focus between tasks. You can also use automated smartphone alerts for your self-care and connection blocks to prompt you to disconnect from work. These buffers and hard stops ensure you aren't just moving through a list of tasks, but maintaining the energy needed to be effective in every role you play. Even the best schedule will eventually require adjustments as your workload or personal needs shift. Set a 15-minute recurring meeting for yourself every Friday afternoon for an integration reflection. Use this time to answer 2 questions: what is working well in my current schedule, and what is consistently draining my energy? This weekly check-in is what keeps your system sustainable. It allows you to troubleshoot issues before they lead to burnout. Take a moment to review the roadmap you've built for tomorrow. You've moved from a reactive approach to an intentional design for your day. If your Friday reflections show that your schedule is still drifting away from your priorities, you can use a framework called the Lotus method: learn, overcome, troubleshoot, unlearn, and solution, to systematically realign your habits with the goals you've set. Now, your primary task is to protect those 3 sacred blocks. If you wouldn't allow a distraction to interrupt a high-stakes business meeting, give your personal and self-care blocks the same respect. Choosing active integration over the myth of balance gives you a reliable way to manage your time. When work and personal life stop competing for hours, you can show up with more focus at the office and more presence at home.